unveiling the greatest achievement of mankind in a story that is so brutal and so intense that every chapter really makes you feel like creating a time machine and take a leap in time so you could read the next one. Of course, I am talking about Hunter x Hunter. Oh, and we also have this new series called Kagurabachi. It is really unfortunate that Kagurabachi has become the biggest meme of the shonen demographic with only 2 chapters. Even before the official release, it was in the news that the entire manga was leaked after Weekly Shonen Jump announced it to be their next big title and marketed it next to One Piece. As an artist, this has to be the biggest slap in the face. But what is not unfortunate is that the memes are very much justified because the opening chapters of the series are the most 7 out of 10 chapters I have read in quite some time. That doesn't mean that it is particularly bad, but it really makes one question as to why is it being marketed so heavily when the recent hits from the same magazine are Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen. The foundation of the story is being called the Morbius in the manga community, which is actually very inaccurate. This is the backstory of the Ben Affleck's version of Batman, who is a kick-ass swordsman. The main character, Chihiro, talks in the most edgy possible way to make somewhat of an impact with the dialogue. But what's really going on is that Chihiro has watched too many DC movies, which is why he is stuck in a fantasy delusion. Let me give you an example. Here's a scene where Chihiro and Shiba are traveling on a train and Shiba makes a suggestion that Chihiro should get his scar removed. Now Chihiro has 2 options. He can reply in the sanest way possible or completely avoid the question because the plot has been forcing it down that he is a vigilante samurai. Oh, and there's also option C where he goes, "Every morning when I wash my face and look in the mirror, I see this scar and I remember that day. So every day I start the morning with a fresh hatred." Just let that sink in for a moment. The plot at the moment isn't anything particularly special. It is a revenge story in which Chihiro's father is a swordsman and creates unique enchanted katana who is killed by 3 sorcerers. Now the sorcerers are built up to be this mysterious and dangerous group who are the villains for the series, but at the same time the audience is not given enough context to really care about them all that much. All we know is that they stole 6 enchanted blades and are now terrorizing different countries. I will be really surprised if the next few chapters end up proving me wrong, but at the moment there is not enough emotion or care given to the characters. Narratively, it is just all over the place. The pace is either too slow or just too fast with all these time skips and quick transitions from one city to another. For the majority of the first 2 chapters, the art doesn't really stand out much. It is average at best and there are a lot of empty backgrounds. The series could benefit from learning how to flesh out panels from series like Chainsaw Man and Hell's Paradise. However, the final quarter of the first chapter has a fight sequence and I think it has been illustrated really well. In the art department, it just needs more consistency, otherwise I can see the series losing a huge number of audience even if they are here right now for the jokes. Kagurabachi has a start that lacks in quality, context and is really forcing the character's delusion down the audience's throats. It doesn't do anything particularly special, but I personally think it doesn't really need to either. I want the creator to take his time and flesh out the concepts before pulling out the big guns. It doesn't make much sense to play all your big moves right at the start and then lose steam for the rest of the duration. It is a series that shouldn't be focusing on competing with the big boys just yet, and the creator should be concerned with the longevity of it. I will most certainly keep up with the series for the time being to see if it really goes down the drain or actually ends up pulling me in for some huge surprises.